lightning go around the area. There's no rain yet, no major lightning strikes that look anywhere close, but they are going to take the precautions, and we'll just bear with it here. Our broadcast position is actually over on the visitors' side. They have two sides here. The home side, which is over on the east side, and we do hear a little bit of rumbling, and the visitors' side is over on the west side of the stadium, and we're located on the visitors' side. The PA and the rest of the staff are over on the far side, but the PA announcer had mentioned during our last break that the teams will be coming out at around 6:56, and that depending on how the weather looks. We'll tell you about some of the games going on as we speak. The band is not out as it was scheduled to come out to do the national anthem at this time. Other games going on involving teams in the 7A West. Bryant is at Bentonville West. The Hornets coming off their bye week, and they defeated Benton in the Saline Bowl. And they have a 1-0 record. Bentonville West falling to Fort Smith Southside last week. They are currently 0-2. Alma's at Springdale. The Airedales fell to Van Buren last Monday. Springdale coming off the win at War Memorial Stadium against Little Rock Parkview. They're 2-0. Harbor lost their game against Pulaski Academy in week 1. They had a bye. They're traveling to Russellville coming off the win over Morrilton. Russellville 1-0. Harbor is 0-1. Fort Smith's Northside had a big win over Greenwood last week. They're traveling to Van Buren to take on the Pointers, who defeated Alma. And other games of local note, Harrison is at Siloam Springs. Both teams unbeaten going in. Harrison with victories over Pea Ridge and Mountain Home. Siloam Springs last week defeated Pryor. Over in among 5A, 4A schools, Gravitz at Farmington. Gravett fell to Cassia Hall in week 1. They had a bye last week. Farmington coming off the win over Prairie Grove. Huntsville winners over Gentry last week, or at Berryville. The first game at the new Bobcat Stadium, the Bobcats defeated Westport last Friday night. Other games going on the 4A team. Green Forest is at Commerce, and we do have a loud PA announcer, but Green Forest is at Commerce tonight. Green Forest 0-1, Commerce 0-1 in Oklahoma. Lincoln traveling to Oklahoma as well. They're taking on Keys. The Wolves are 1-0. The Cougars are 0-1. Prairie Grove traveling Dardanelle. Dardanelle 2-0 in their first game of the season. Shiloh Christian is at Truman tonight. Elkins at Westport. And an 8-man football, Decatur is at Augusta. We are continuing as the sort of waiting for the word on teams being allowed to get onto the field. They're expected to be on the field. We should have the captains in a couple of minutes. Are awaiting the entry of the flags as well. Other games going on tonight in Missouri. Our own Tommy Elmore up in Granby, Missouri, has the McDonald County Mustangs traveling to East Newton. The Mustangs 1-1 after defeating Logan Rogersville last week. East Newton falling to Aurora. They're 0-2. Also in the Big 8, Cassville is at Monette in the Berry County Super Bowl. The Wildcats 2-0. Monette is 0-2. Cassville beat Springfield Catholic last week. Monette with a loss to Marshfield. Lamar's at Aurora. Lamar unbeaten now for 47 straight games. They are also have won 7 consecutive state championships in Class 2. They travel to Aurora. The Hound Dogs are 1-1. The Tigers 2-0. Nevada's at Seneca in the other Western Division game in the Big 8. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. Mount Vernon's at Marshfield tonight. Both teams 2-0 in the East Division in the Big 8. Logan Rogersville is at Reed Spring. Logan Rogersville at 0-2. Reed Spring at 2-0. And Springfield Catholics at Hollister. Both teams are 1-1. And another low area Missouri game going on right now. Neosho is at Webb City. Both teams are 2-0, playing in the Central Ozark Conference. We are still awaiting word on when the game will begin, as we are waiting for the teams to make their arrival onto the field and more of the pregame. And we'll continue. We'll take a break here. We'll return with more. You're listening to High School Football on Kern.
And this is Scott Davis with RHS TV. We wanted to thank Dave Schoen from Kern Radio for helping us out with tonight's feed. We are in a small press box on the west side of Little Rock Central's field. There's no fans out right now. They're holding all the fans inside underneath the bleachers right now, and they've done a storm delay. So we are just waiting to see what time we're going to be able to start, if we can start. The weather report earlier tonight showed that the worst part of the storm was going to miss us here in Little Rock, and by 7, let's say 7:30 or so, the earlier forecast showed that it would be clear.
Since I don't have a lot of time to tap dance here, I would probably suggest we do some bonus coverage of McDonald County.
We've got, right now, they have announced that it's going to be at least 7:27 before the game starts, and by then, at least the earlier report, okay, they're letting the fans out of the stands, but they're not going to quite start yet. So I'm going to go ahead and, this is Scott Davis, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off the feed and wait it out and give us about 30 minutes, and we should, the clock says 29:08, so at that point we are hoping that we can start the game.
We just saw a flash of lightning behind the home press box, and what we are in right now, we are in a storm delay. Now, Arkansas Activities Association rules and high school rules say that when lightning is spotted within, I believe, a 3-mile radius, you need to halt play. So the fans have to be, they have the fans sit under the bleachers, and they have everyone off the field. Then they will not start play until at least 30 minutes after the last lightning has been spotted. Right now, that means we'll be starting our game in about 27 minutes. Now, being that we are in a delay in the meantime, what we are going to do is we are going to have bonus coverage of.
And that was Dave Schoen from Kern Radio, and he is going to. We're standing here. Stand up here. There, just sit down. All right, they're calling every. And we have been, all the players and coaches have been called in to safety here, and we are in cover under the field, under the press box. So we're going to go ahead and kill the feed. You can see the fans from the other side kind of mulling around the entrance there, wanting to come out, but they can't. So it's going to be at least 30 minutes or 26 minutes before we start, and we're going to go ahead and kill the feed for just a minute. The officials are up here going to kick us out of the press box, so we're going to have to kill our feed.